Hi, my name is Paul Drake. I'm a county commissioner. I'm here with Melanie Morano, county commissioner as well, and Laura DePreto. And we're here today to talk about agriculture and the celebration of Ag Day, also the Farm to Frame celebration in Somerset County. Did you know that Somerset County has been celebrating farmland preservation for 40 years?
Wow.
That's a huge accomplishment. Somerset County is very proud of its agricultural history. And today we're going to talk a little bit about planting. And now that the spring is here or almost near here, people are getting itchy. People really want to get out and get their hands dirty, get into the soil. So we're going to do a little bit of activity. Laura's going to lead this activity about our whole aspect of planting an herb garden, not only to help our own psyche of planting, but also help the environment. You'll see we have a number of wildflowers that are both helpful for our pollinators, our bees and butterflies, but also just make us feel better. We like color. We like being able to grow things in the garden. So Laura, why don't you take us away?
Sure, and thank you both for joining me. So do you have herb garden at home anywhere, either outside or inside? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you grow? What kinds of things do you like to grow?
I like growing wildflowers. I like growing, a variety of flowers.
Okay.
I do have a lot of native wildflowers. I also have ones that I plant that are perennial as well as annuals.
Okay.
And it's, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel, get to, not only help the environment, help, I like the color coming up, the splash of color, try to work it in the environment.
Oh, absolutely. I'd say the more things that go on in life, the more plants and seeds I plant and grow. So how about for you, Commissioner? What types of herbs do you grow?
Love growing herbs. Have a box planter right on my front porch so that when I'm cooking, I can go right outside.
I love it. I love it.
Snatch some fresh herbs, because nothing tastes better in food than fresh herbs. So last year I had an abundance of parsley and basil. The parsley was allowing the swallowtail butterfly to grow on there. They love that. So there was the added benefit of making food for pollinators that'll allow them to make food for us. So all the way around, just a full circle.
Absolutely. And here we are, we don't have to be horticulture and garden experts to really enjoy the benefit of engaging in a simple start your own kitchen herb garden activity, which is what we're going to do here. Right. So commissioners, you picked out some seeds already, right, before we got going. So Commissioner, what did you pick?
I got some nice basil. Basil's a lovely plant.
Okay.
Put it in all kinds of not only salads, but in my soup and tomato sauce.
Oh, love it. I'm getting hungry already. Great. Just great.
I also put cilantro, which is an Italian basil, right? And I believe it's Italian basil.
Well,
I always put it in Mexican
food. It's an herb. It's not an Italian basil, because there's and actually your basil, I think it says Genovese on it. Yes, on the front.
Yes.
Yes, so there's your Italian basil.
Genovese variety.
But that's okay, because that's why I say it's so great to have the seed package, because anything you want to know for getting it started and nurturing it is on your package, and then whatever isn't on the back by way of the information on the particular herb, I say you can always do a Google, but you really want to go to a nice .edu when you're searching, because you'll get very reliable information based on scientific data.
And I also picked nasturtium,
I love those.
Really cool plant. Not only an edible flower that you can eat, put in your salad, add a little color, but I'm told, I haven't validated it, that it does a good job of keeping away the cucumber beetles, which I can't stand when they invade my cucumber plants. So I plant this in my cucumbers.
Let's see what happens. You got to let us know.
It keeps them out.
And this does have a climbing tendency to it, so it's going to grow upright as opposed to downward and across the ground, if you will. So, and Commissioner, what did you pick?
So speaking of salad, I picked out the Gourmet Blend lettuce. And to go with my salad, I picked out some mint. So we've got it all full there. And to make it all pretty, we've got some yellow marigolds in there.
Wonderful companion planting that you're both going to do in this activity today. So, and one of the things you could do is, I would encourage you, once you picked your seed, both of you have scissors, so why don't you maybe cut the corner off of one of your packages to start, okay? Or tear it, but tear the corner. There is a nice sealable flap, but I have to tell you, in my experience, the seal doesn't always seal. and the flap is open, and then I lose all my seeds. So that is why I'm having them cut the corner, because I've learned from experience. So don't let me take your cilantro away. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pick 2 different native flowers. And by the way, the companion flowers that they picked are native. Everything we're working with here is native plant material, because we want to encourage the native pollinators, the life cycles, and the healthy, sustainable approach to even our kitchen gardens, as small as they are. And again, we are gardening. So what I'm going to have you both do is you're going to work with the red pot that has the soil in it. And I'm going to give you both shovels, I think, for this one.
A nice shovel.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
And you can put the pot between you if you want.
Do we need any stones on the bottom, Laura?
Well, yes, you're going to put some stone, but just put a little bit of soil in the bottom, just a tiny bit. And then you're going to add, I have stones for you, Commissioner. And do you have your bag of stones over there? If not, then I'm going to have there's some stone, and I have some more over here. So I'm going to give you, and go ahead and put some stone in there. Okay, I'm going to hold that till you add it. Okay. And again, the stone is your drainage, and you want to you can be very generous with your stones in here. So you could take your stones, get your stones from outside. You want to cover the bottom and then some. So, and I actually have some more stones in this basket that I can share with you, Commissioner.
Also, it's a good anchor.
And it's a great anchor. Here, I'm going to give you those. Can I pour that in there? So, yep. So how many, yeah, there you go. I'm going to give you some too. So for our activity today, we are, again, you could go nuts with stone. I'm going to throw that in there, okay? Because it weighs it down, but it also serves as the drainage. So I want both of you to lean your pot outward just a little bit to show. You could even add more stone than that if you're making this at home, and you want to make sure you have some nice drainage in there. If you're starting this in your house and directly from seeds indoors for a bright, I say kitchen area, that doesn't mean the kitchen is where this has to go. You want to find a nice sunny window where this can go, and it may or may not be the kitchen, okay? But we're calling them kitchen herb gardens because we cook in our kitchens mostly, right? All right, so now you can go ahead and add some more soil, and if you wanted to literally you could put your pot right up against and just start scooping. Again, we're working with a nice, simple, all-purpose, loose potting soil that is good for both ornamentals and edible plants. And even seeds are ornamental or edible or both. So when I say plants, I'm referring to both the physical plant as well as the seeds that they're going to start in their kitchen gardens today. And go ahead and get your hands in the soil. If we're not working with gloves. I don't like to work with gloves 90% of the time. But if you want to just put even some disposable gloves on because you just prefer it, go ahead and do that. But in this demo, none of us are wearing gloves just by our choice, but you have that option. Commissioner Morano, that looks fantastic. Okay, and your soil is nice and loose too, right?
Yes, very loose.
All right. Oh, I guess you guys are way ahead of me. I'm just taking my time over here. I really am, but that's okay.
And Laura, this is just regular potting soil, right?
Yep. Read the label.
Nothing special about it, just normal potting soil.
Right. And you just check the label and make sure that you pick the potting soil that is good for both ornamentals and edibles combined, to be on the safe side. If in fact I say, let's say you put a companion flower in there, but it's not necessarily an edible. That's why I say ornamental. Okay. All right. So now what I want you both to do is I gave you both teaspoons, and I want you to use the teaspoon because you're going to put some seed on your teaspoon. And I'm going to give you that. I just took it.
That's all right.
And I want you to show everyone the size difference in your seeds. So put just a couple on there because there will be great variations in seed size as well. All right. And look at that. How cool is that? So Commissioner Morano, on her spoon are marigold seeds. And by the way, in the seasons, through the seasons, and you have cilantro.
This is basil.
Basil seeds. Look at how different they both look. I have to tell you, so in the harvest, at the end of the season, I go around all my plants and I literally harvest seeds. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I do buy seeds, but I'm buying less and less every single year because I'm doing this from the harvest. And you will literally see the seeds on marigolds form exactly like that, and you could pick them off the flowers
they look like little matchsticks.
Don't
they're
they?
Little black and white, and they look like a little matchstick that has been burned.
And your basil will drop black seeds like that. If you took a white envelope and you just tapped it, seeds will come off.
Yeah, those seeds
really,
are
really
like
cool.
little poppy seeds over there.
Yeah. Okay, so what I want you to do now is you're not going to put all of those seeds in one hole.
Okay.
I want you to carefully select, let's see, you probably have about, what, 7 on there?
Several, yeah.
I would put maybe 3,
Okay.
3 or 4 in your hole, okay? Or make a circle of them on one side of your pot. So whatever you're planting right now, pick a side where you're going to plant those into the soil. So you're going to stay on this side, Commissioner Drake, with your basil, okay? Because on the other side, you're going to plant something else. And Commissioner Morano?
I want to take the flower in the middle and then the herbs and lettuce on the edges.
Okay.
What do you think?
And you might end up doing some transplanting as we go along. That's okay. Why don't you just do? All right.
He's throwing basil in my mint salad here.
The larger the seed, or I could say the smaller the seed, the larger the seed, the deeper it goes. The smaller the seed, the closer to the surface it goes. So, Commissioner Morano, you have the marigold seeds, so you want them under the soil, probably by about a ½ an inch, okay?
Okay, that's or a little more. Like about down to my finger, about right?
Yeah.
Like one knuckle between the two knuckles.
And Commissioner Drake, your basil seeds, they were small black seeds. So he literally sprinkled them on the top, but then he basically, took his index finger and he's just poking them around. We got March Madness winds going on right now. If you hear it
happens on a farm.
It's what happens on a farm. They're the beautiful music of farms. So again, I want you to look at the size of your seeds. So you're going to cover where you planted. You're going to cover those seeds up.
Okay.
Or you can leave the holes open until you're done planting.
Yeah, maybe I'll leave them open so I know where everything is.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. They're very different.
Okay, so we're going to the next one.
Oh, wow. What'd you pick?
This is cilantro.
Cilantro. So you want to do half that amount in your container. All right. So you could put half of those back.
What does cilantro become when it's a seed like this? This is
I wonder if it has a fragrance. Does it have any? Does it have a smell to it?
No, it's
Have you ever smelled the seed, audience? If you haven't, I got to tell you, there are seeds you can actually smell the flower by smelling seeds. Nope, I can't smell anything. I know you all probably think I'm crazy over here, but I really mean it. You can some seeds you can actually smell.
Coriander.
Coriander.
Yes.
Coriander.
So
all right, so I'm going to put. You have your seed. You're putting them in there, right?
You can either use the plant or you can use the seed as coriander
to put that in there.
Cooking.
Okay, and Commissioner Morano, what do you have over there?
I've got lettuce. How much lettuce do you think I need in there?
So now, think in your own mind's eye. I want you to, what's the size of a head of lettuce traditionally? And I want you to look at the back of the label, and it should tell you what height and width it gets to.
It says, let's see, 20% length. Oh, depth, 1/4 inch.
Okay, that's your seed depth. Perfect.
Okay, 4 plants, 12-inch container. Didn't bring my glasses.
You want me to help you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emerges in 7 to 10 days.
All right, that's for germination, and your label will tell you how many days to start to expect, and wait with great anticipation. I go like this all the time, with my anticipation of when those little green leaves are going to come up. So let's see here. Does it give us? So it's 45 to 50 days from now to harvest, okay?
You have to be buying lettuce until then.
Right? All right. And you, like you were saying about your husband, you did, right? Where, it's like you had lettuce all season long, right?
Wonderful.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm looking to see if it gives us the size of this particular lettuce, and it does not. But it does say that allow 4 per 12-inch container. 4 seeds per 12-inch container.
Okay.
But that's assuming that each seed is going to germinate for you. I always like to put a lot of extra. I'm not going to lie, and sometimes a little extra could mean too much extra. And then I'm thinning till it's dark out. So don't put too much, but you can always put a little extra because not every seed is necessarily going to germinate.
Right.
Okay. All right. So now you have your seeds in there, and then you also pick nasturtiums, right?
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. And this seed
These I know
is going to be
are
vastly different than what you were just handling. They look like pebbles,
big seeds.
big seeds, and it is the coolest thing. These have a pretty relatively fast germination, not as fast as zinnias or lettuce, but fast enough. And I have planted them directly into the ground anytime between the end of March, and I have planted up pots as well outside. I've put some seeds into the pots in September and October, and I got fully mature plants, which is amazing. So when we talk, you know, we really don't know the potential of these very seeds that are storing energy as we're planting our kitchen herb planters. So it's the wonderment, the curiosity, the act of gardening in this way. I would pick maybe 2 or 3, Commissioner, with your nasturtiums, okay? And Commissioner Morano has mint, and people say, oh my God, my mint took over my garden. And because it will, but if you contain it, meaning it is within a pot where it has boundaries and borders to it, it will not take over your garden. And so, you know, we're the wiser for knowing that mint can be extremely aggressive in its nature and take over your garden. So in an effort not to do that, if you're going to plant mint, whether you're direct sowing it outside or you're doing it in your kitchen garden, not yet, not yet. Not yet.
Hold on, he's too excited.
I gotta get. I can't. No, I got my jar of pollinators.
Mint is the seeds are.
Can you smell the packet? Any smell?
I'm not smelling it.
Okay.
I'm not smelling it.
Well, really tiny.
And these,
I mean, they're
the mint seeds that Commissioner Milano has
are microscopic.
These are probably almost as small as a mustard seed. I think the mustard seed is the smallest. And
I can't even tell.
Once they're going in the soil, she's not going to go find a seed in a haystack, if you will. It's never going to happen. They're that small. So you're done planting your seeds, right? You've got basil, cilantro, nasturtiums. Yep. And Commissioner Morano, you have mint, lettuce, and marigold. So, and they're using a container that's, I would say, probably what? 12 inches across and maybe 5 inches in depth. So now you can go ahead and here's where it gets fun in a whole different direction. So plant labels. So Commissioner, why don't you hold up the one that you're going to work with?
Very cool.
It's a little miniature chalkboard with a clothespin on the back of it. And instead of chalk, it's chalk pens. And you can write, now you're going to write and make a label for each thing that you planted, and you could put it across and clip it to the top. And you're going to do the same thing, Commissioner Morano.
Is that what this is?
Yep.
All right.
And that way you can label and leave room for the date. So what's today's date? It's 3/6. There you go, basil, and put 3/6 because that's the date that you started planting, that you planted your seeds directly.
3/6/23.
3/6/23. You could also use.
Jeez, I did it upside down.
Popsicle sticks. You can use plastic labels that have the stem on them and write. We definitely want to get some more of the herb. Grab those from Kate. Thanks a million. And do you want to do more chalk labels, or you want to go with popsicle sticks too? Oh, you can do a combination. So I should give you one of these too then, right? Come here. All right. And the markers, we have markers here too. So you can use the markers for the additional. There you go. Oh, I love it.
Upside down again. Is this is erasable here or no? Okay, well.
Well, that's okay. Nobody cares. Okay. Do you? Oh, you don't. There you go. Take another one. And Commissioner Morano, you need another one. Oh, you got three.
Oh, I got them all.
Okay,
I got them all set up. A little upside down here, but
that's okay. So they're upside down. You could turn them the other way, and you know, we'll
work with it.
You know, we said we work with it. We go with it, and you don't need a green thumb to do this. By the time you're done, if you have a green pinky, that's a great thing, because it means you've sparked your curiosity, you engaged in planting, and I say gardening on its basic level is continuous enlightenment. We discover things as we go along, that is for sure. So you could pick whatever seeds you want, a seed packet in big box stores, your local farmers markets, anywhere now. There's so many different native plant seeds available to you. And you might spend $1.50, $1.69, you know, for your seed packet, but these seed packets have hundreds and hundreds of seeds in them for the most part. Join us, right?
Oh, Reich Sudam is here. We're at his
Hey,
farm.
Reich.
Hey,
I'm back.
oh my God, it's
I was out getting dirty in the wind.
little windy out there too.
It's
I know you're-
planting season.
I know you're looking at, everybody shut their phone off but me. Sorry about that.
Wait, you're working man here.
I know you're looking at labels, and these are really cute. I like these.
This is very cute.
I don't use these. These are just too
You
cute
should
for me.
now, right?
Got a little decorative for a working
I
farm.
use, this is kind of a commercial marker, and you'll see in my flats, I always have at least more than one.
Oh, yes.
Moving stuff around, you lose the marker.
And then you don't even know what you planted.
Yeah.
Well, you can usually tell that's a tomato, that's a pepper. Let's say, what variety was it?
Right.
Especially when you want multiple varieties in the garden.
Yeah.
So my tip to you folks at home is, this is pretty safe. You're good there. But if you have flats and you fearfully you're going to forget what you planted, use more than one.
For sure.
Oh, love your tip. That's a great
Sure.
tip. And you have a lot of amazing plants already growing. You've got pansies we're surrounded by pansies, right? We're surrounded by
Yes.
tomato plants, marigold plants. What else are you growing here, right?
snapdragons
Snapdragons,
Oh, love that.
nice cold flower,
I
cold
got
crop
some
flower.
Sun patience. I do a lot of. Somebody really wants me. Sorry, everybody. We do a lot of flowering stuff. So I got sun patience, pansies, snapdragons. Pansies are great early in the season.
Yes.
They can tolerate the cool weather, but as soon as it gets hot, June,
Done.
pansies will poop out. If you're lucky, they'll come back.
Not until the fall, though,
Yeah.
as it gets cooler.
But in my pots, I usually pull the pansies out and I'll put something that lasts through the winter. But I do want to touch on something, Laura, that you just mentioned about continuing to learn.
Yes.
You've been doing it a long time.
Yes.
Grew up doing it. We got a couple novices,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay. We continue to learn because stuff does change and there's different varieties.
Yep.
Right.
And I just want to give a plug to the Cooperative Extension Service of Rutgers, which
Absolutely.
Somerset
Oh,
County
yes.
has great people.
Top notch.
And actually, Rutgers across the state does a great job. So wherever you're seeing this, reach out to your county extension agent. If you got a question, they're there to help. And they're always coming up with new stuff to make it fun, just like you guys are doing today.
That's
Yeah,
right, and
for
that
sure.
is where we say, you know, we follow the science, and so you know we have the luxury, if you will, of like, oh, what seeds do I think I want to buy today or shop for? But the science behind that is what allows us to be able to do that as consumers, and that's what they do is somewhat of a thankless job, if you will, because of
I
that.
thank them.
No, I thank them too. We're thanking you right now, right? But the science behind this is just tremendous.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's nice.
I love that. I love that.
Wow.
I-
Dressing it up.
Commissioner Morano, did you want to
Yes.
pick I have my little jar of
Oh,
a couple
boy.
of pollinators.
Oh, I
I
gotta
don't
get
have
one of
any
those
worms in there, but I got bees, I got cardinals, I
Oh,
have
come on.
butterflies in
bird.
there,
Gotta go
birds.
with bird. I love birds.
Yep.
That's like Mr. B, remember that?
Oh,
Yes,
Mr. B,
Mr.
yeah,
B.
you need a bee
Okay, where
too,
can we
Commissioner
put
Drake.
this
Take a
little
bee.
bird? She's
There you
flying.
go.
He's
You got your
flying in.
bumblebee.
I'm gonna see
There you
if
go,
we
and you
can
can put
get
that
him in there.
anywhere you
He's
want.
Ducking in. He's eating my seeds.
Right. Can you just take a minute to talk about how important pollinators are for the garden?
Well, bees make honey. More importantly, they make fruit. That could be vegetable or apples or peaches, or any kind of fruit like that. We need pollinators. Otherwise, you can have the greatest plants in the world, but without pollinators, you're not going to get any tomatoes.
That's right.
You're not going to get any peppers. You're not going to get any pumpkins. Now, sweet corn, you don't need bees. That all pollinates in the air, blows around on the silk. You can see a cornfield, and on a windy day, you can see the pollen blowing around.
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
need bees for that. But almost everything else,
Like
that tastes good,
98% of everything else,
you've
right?
got to have bees. So we protect them. I was working with beehives this morning on the back of the farm, and I'm going to urge people at home, don't kill everything that flies.
we were just talking about that before we
Please.
started.
Yeah.
People have a tendency, they see something, they want to kill it.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of wasps, so they don't pollinate much anyway. But bees, leave the bees alone. They really don't want you. They're looking for something sweet to pollinate with. Don't kill the bees.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff that may get in your house or around your house, I get it. Mosquitoes, no fan of mosquitoes. But the pollinators are invaluable.
Yeah.
Again, without them, we're not going to eat.
Right.
That's
Well,
right.
do you know how to tell a carpenter bee? has a little tool bill.
And we were just talking about the
Yep.
parsley and
the black swallowtail, and
swallowtail.
many herbs are the host plants. You have
Yeah.
many herbs out there that are actually the host plants for our pollinators. So, don't draw the conclusion that if you see a bug, a caterpillar, at whatever stage it's at in its life cycle, that it's bad and you're supposed to kill it. You don't want to do that. And it's just a little bit of education and say, and even the local cooperative extension offices, they do the identification. So bring it in to the extension office. Ask before you kill.
Take a picture.
Take a picture of it, right?
They're there to help.
Yeah.
Just take a breath before you use the spray. You may be cutting off, your own pollinators for the fruit that's going to be growing, whether it's in a container or out in the garden or in the field.
Yep.
We've got to have those pollinators. And again, they really don't want you. They're looking for, there's something sweet they're after.
Yeah. Well, right. Thank you again for allowing us to be here and just joining us. We know you're out there, you're constantly working. And we just figured we'd change up your day a little bit today.
Well,
make you spend a few minutes more in the greenhouse.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Thank
hosting.
you.